After Loki was bound, Thor, Freyr, Freya, Njord, and other Asgardians did not wish to pursue him further and spared him. They argued that the blind god had not recognized Loki's evil intentions and therefore bore no guilt. Odin's sons were anyway unwilling to kill their brother. But Odin, Heimdall, Thor, and others insisted on revenge. A Finnish seer prophesied to Odin that the daughter of a ruddy king would bear him the slayer of his enemy. Thereupon, Odin, with his broad-brimmed hat pulled low over his face, went to the court of said king and offered himself as a warrior. After winning many victories with his army, the king appointed him as commander. Odin won every battle. Even as a lone fighter, he put whole hordes of attackers to flight. The king eventually included him as one of his most trusted friends in his inner circle. In this position, Odin revealed to the king his love for his daughter. The king encouraged Odin to ask Rind for a kiss, but when he did so, she instead slapped him on the cheek. The following year, Odin returned in disguise, posing as a goldsmith and crafted precious jewelry, including rings and a clasp that shone brighter and finer than anything forged at the court. He gifted them to the proud maiden. However, Rind saw through the goldsmith's generosity, and when he tried to kiss her, she slapped him again on the cheek. The king scolded his stubborn daughter, but she refused to marry the old man, fearing he would spoil her joyful maiden years. The second rejection wounded the seducer. Yet, the beautiful and obstinate Rind intrigued him even more. Odin resolved to father a revenger through her. Frigg and other Asgardians tried to dissuade Odin from a third journey. They warned him that he was wasting too much time on revenge when urgent efforts were needed to preserve the worlds. Yet Odin, resolute and unwavering, appeared as a young, fiery warrior to challenge the ruddy king in battle. He fought bravely, defeated every opponent, and gained fame. All the women cheered him on, even Rind, who waved to him. As Odin rode up to her side and dismounted to thank her with a kiss, Rind initially bowed her head, but at the last moment, she recognized the old god and pushed him so fiercely that he stumbled to the ground, burying his chin in the earth. Deeply hurt and filled with rage, Odin had a piece of bark with him, into which runes were etched. As he fell, he brushed it against Rind, plunging her into sickness and despair. Subsequently, Odin, disguised as a medicinal woman, came to the court. His medical successes earned him the king's favor, who appointed him as his daughter's servant. Odin cared for Rind, gently washing the dirt from her feet and legs. Whether this was done out of pleasure or as a tedious duty remains unclear. When Rind suffered from severe fever spikes and no other remedy proved effective, the medicinal woman, Odin in disguise, prepared a potion from herbal juices. On the advice of the doctor, the king had his daughter bound to her bed so that she would not resist. Odin managed to alleviate her illness, whether through the herbal juices or other means. Rind quickly recovered and gave birth to a healthy, strong son named Wali. Wali grew up quickly and early on practiced riding, spear throwing, and sword fighting. He swam through rivers and hunted deer. Odin told Wali about the murder of his uncle Balder and how heavily this act weighed on the inhabitants of the worlds. He advised Wali, instead of perishing in meaningless battles, to seek revenge for his uncle. Wali followed this advice and killed the blind Hödur. With this act, the community of the Aesir once again lost one of their gods.